My name is Kate Gibbons, and I'm the Co-Sell Product Marketing Manager. And what I'm going to walk you through today, and I'm going to pre-apologize for some background noise. It's that time of the evening where I live. What I'm going to walk you through today is how to manage your referrals within Partner Center. So let me know. Oh no. Are you guys seeing a loading circle? Okay.
Not so far.
No.
It looks fine on
your slides.
You can, okay, perfect. So what I want to make sure you guys take away today is how to manage your leads and co-sale opportunities that you receive from Microsoft, how to register the co-sale deals that you might want to share with Microsoft inside Partner Center, and then how to access help. What I want to make sure you guys also understand is that this guide is a companion to how-to documentation that it exists on docs.microsoft.com. So let's start with some principles before we dive right into the super tactical, how do I do things? One, I want to make sure that you guys are clear around when Microsoft thinks about how we're sharing referrals and the principles, what we're really talking about. We really want to have customer connections. So we want these deals to turn into wins, to turn into relationships that you have with these customers. We also want you to have a unified experience. What that means is that maybe in the past, depending on how your business with Microsoft has been organized, you might be receiving referrals into an alias and a seller. It might come through a CRM, through an API that's coming through. It could be in Partner Sales Connect. So there's a lot of different things going on. So we really wanted to unify this experience so you could really see what the pipeline from Microsoft looked like. Consistency and transparency for those customer connections. We want to make sure you guys understand what is in these referrals, why or why not they may be winning, things like that. Also understanding that there's customer choice. So customers do select a lot of the partners that and the solutions that you guys publish and that they would like to purchase. And we always default to customer choice, of course. And then data. Within this experience, you'll see there are multiple times when Microsoft might ask you for a piece of data, like a reason code, and we really encourage you guys to share that information with us so that we can better understand what types of referrals that you would like from Microsoft and what works for your company. So jumping right in, if anyone has logged into Partner Center, this UX should look familiar. What you will see in there is on the left-hand side, you have the navigation that says home or CSP or commercial marketplace, depending on what areas of the business your company participates in. So within referrals, which is what we're going to talk about today, you have a section called leads. And so what is in here in these leads is actually things that are generated off of your business profile that you have created within Partner Center. Within leads, to double click in, you have marketplace leads. So think about those as leads that come directly from the customer engaging with your business profile publishing tile that lives on the solution provider. Then you also have qualified leads, which are leads that come from Microsoft marketing channels or mostly SMB sellers. And then you also have the opportunity from things that you create to favorite them, like you would refavorite almost anything on a web browser or anything like that, to go back and really hone in on the things that you liked or you might be calling down. So let's talk about responding. So once you have something sitting within leads, we want you to accept or decline that. So it is really important that you have 14 days here to take this action. What I want to encourage with you is that we really want you to accept or decline these and take an action sooner than that, because as you can understand, these customers are waiting to be called back and they are interested in purchasing your solutions or products from you. And as you can understand as a consumer yourself, if it takes 2 weeks for someone to get back to you, you might be like, well, I already solved my own problem, or I purchased something else. So when you accept the deal, we want to make sure that you add some details so that you can continue to track this and better understand it. So you can add details like the estimated value, the date, You can add a CRM ID in here if that's applicable to your company. You can also add notes. Notes is a great way to relay information to your other sellers if you're transferring this along to maybe someone in a different sales team or a different part of your organization, and also adding your employees so you know who's working on the deal. Hopefully this lead turns into a win, and so we want you guys to confirm that you won it by marking it 1 simply in the UX as it says above there. And then also once you do that, it asks you to just confirm the information. So this is validating things that you entered before, like the contract value or the date. And then you simply close the deal, and then you know, and then that signals back to us that you won it, and then it's closed, so we have visibility to that. We know that that's the type of lead that works for your company. If you're declining something, I want to make sure you guys understand that declining something in here does not in any way have a negative impact for you. I think sometimes I hear from partners that they don't want to decline things because they think it might have some type of negative impact, but it doesn't. What it does is just informs us that these are not leads that would suit your business, and so that's okay. And we do ask that you, when you decline it, that you indicate a reason why. These reason codes will change over time, so don't get too alarmed if the UX changes. Again, we're just trying to refine the information that we understand why this is not going to work for your company. So now if you have a commercial, if you have a co-sell ready solution, this part would apply to you. So co-sell opportunities are those later stage sales cycle deals that we're going to bi-directionally share and potentially sell against. So this is a second section within referrals called co-sell opportunities. Within here, if you double click, you have a couple different categories to help you organize what's in here. You have inbound, so these are things that you've received from Microsoft. You have outbound, things that you've shared to Microsoft. And then again, you have this concept of favorites, so you can continue to go back and quickly find the things that you may be working on or that are more important to your company at that time. So if you're going to create a new deal, meaning something you want to share with Microsoft, you simply create a new deal by hitting the button at the top. You enter the customer contact information, and what's important here is this is intentional in the sense that you enter the location before the customer name. The reason why we do that is that we can better identify what part of that customer you're working with. So there are Dunes ID numbers. And so if you trigger with the location, it then supplies a shorter drop-down list for us to understand what customer you're working with. So then you would add the customer contact details. So these would be things like Jane Smith or the phone number, the email. Then you would continue to add things like the co-sell deal information. So much like you did in leads, you can add the name, contract value, the date it's expected to close, a CRM ID, a marketing campaign ID if that's applicable to your business. So this is where things like if you have marketing funding that you want to track the return on investment for, you can enter that ID code there. And again, notes is a really important area where you can relay information between multiple sellers. So this would be the information that a Microsoft seller would initially see around this. And then you add your solution and your employees. And those will be, these will pull from your solution catalog that you have either within Commercial Marketplace or OCP GTM. Then to finalize the deal and you're requesting help from Microsoft, you do need to indicate that you want help from Microsoft. And you do this here by clicking this over. It defaults to no, and that's important to understand. So why we've orchestrated it that way is we do understand that sometimes you guys don't want to share the customer contact information with us at this point. And so you just want to give us visibility into the pipeline that's happening. So you can now do that. You just simply make sure that this says you don't want help from Microsoft. If you do want help from Microsoft, you hit yes. It asks for additional information. And then you also need to check the box that says, I confirm that I have consent from the customer, so that we are compliant, legally and compliantly sharing customer information. So if you're responding to something, this will come in much like a lead would come in to you. And you do, once again, have 14 days to accept or decline this. But again, we encourage you to be quicker than that. So if you're accepting it, much like you do in leads, you enter the opportunity information, you add your employees. Then if you're declining it, and again, declining is okay, you would simply hit decline, enter the reason from the drop-down menu, and then let us know that this is not something for you. When registering a deal, so it's important to note that this applies to the ISV Connect program if you were enrolled in that. It is a program requirement to register this deal. And so if that applies to you, after you've won the deal, you enter the information again, or you validate that the information that was existing when you were creating it is here, and then you mark it as won. You complete the deal registration. Sorry, I jumped ahead. As I said, you complete the deal registration information here with the contract value, where it's deployed, what tenant it's on, and make sure that that's accurate. Then, so at that point, that would be registered. So then, as far as tracking these deals, if there are things that still need to happen, you can filter within this deal registration area, which is you have action required, in progress, and closed. Within action required, you might have something that you haven't registered as won, so you've created the opportunity, but you haven't confirmed that it's been won. So we can do that. You can also update. So that might be something that you sent off to Microsoft that they've come back to you that says, I need additional information. You also have in progress, or these are things that are currently under review with Microsoft. And then you have things that are closed. So that being closed would be things that have been either accepted or declined for deal registration with it from Microsoft. Now, how do you get help, and how can you learn more? So if you have questions about this process, you can actually activate some always on information that is available under the question mark. So the question mark is something that is in many Microsoft products that can signal, hey, how can we help you better? So that pops up here. It goes into a search box. We encourage you to use a search box. The keywords or co-seller referrals or business profile, those tend to pop up the articles and pieces of information that usually apply here. If you still can't find the answer you're looking for, you can go ahead and create a new support request. So this is done right in Partner Center as well through support. You create a new request, you enter your information, and then you send that off to our support team. Now, if you want to leave us feedback, we encourage you to do so. We always want feedback. You can click on the smiley face. Again, this is a Microsoft construct across many of our products that you can share feedback with us. So click on the smiley face in the upper right-hand corner, click on referrals, and then you can leave us feedback. And this feedback can be about your co-sell experience, or it can be about the program. We are open and encourage your feedback always. What I want to make sure you guys take away from this, and you will have access to this deck, is what the next steps are for you. So if you are inside Partner Center today, you can manage your referrals, you can create new co-sell deals, and you can know how to ask for support. Additionally, there are other resources out there that we want to make sure that you guys have at your fingertips, and they are listed on the right. And with that, now that I know that everyone has burned that to memory, are there any additional questions that I can answer for you?
Hey, Kate.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, sorry, Michael here. Just on the, just looking for it, sorry.
That's okay.
Just on the deal registration, the difference between co-sell opportunities and deal registration. When you close out a co-sell opportunity, are you required to then go and recreate it in deal registrations?
Great question. No, the information should pull through. That being said, we do want to make sure that that information is accurately reflected from maybe when you first entered it. So the ask there is to make sure that it is correct and accurate before you would to register it. Sorry.
And Kate, I'll just add to that.
Yeah.
If you choose to register the deal now, when you close it out, the information pulls through to the deal registration screen, anything you'd already entered. If you choose to update it later, you may have more fields that need to be filled out when you go back to register the deal. So yeah. It's just easier and a little bit smoother of a process if you're able to register it when you close the deal as one.
So sorry, just to confirm, if I'm going into the co-sell opportunities, for instance, I'm in outbound because we shared it with Microsoft, and then I close that out as a one opportunity, I need to then go to deal registrations and recreate the same opportunity, or it should already be there once it's one?
You'll be prompted, actually, when you close it as one, a window will come up and ask you if you want to register it now or later. And if you choose to register it now, it will pull through all the information that was already in the opportunity that you already entered. If you choose to register it later, the fields, all the fields that you entered may or may not pull through. So you might just have to enter a few things a second time, but it will pull the opportunity name through for you. You'll see it. You won't have to create it from scratch. You just might have to enter, for example, the contract value or something, which okay. Would pull through if you register it now.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you. I have another question. I'm working closely with the team here in Australia, with the Microsoft team, and they are sharing opportunities with us as well as we are sharing with them. I'm trying to solely use the partner center as it's what you guys have asked us to do. Yeah. But when they share deals with us, it still goes back to Partner Sales Connect.
So if I understand what you're saying, you guys you're from Fujitsu, right? Did I see that right? So you're in Partner Center, you're actively co-selling in Partner Center?
That's correct, yes.
Are these deals, okay. Are you only actively co-selling IP solutions as part of the ISV Connect program?
That I can't be 100% sure on. I can create a deal that doesn't have anything to do with one of our own IP solutions. So I can still create one, for instance, based off of Microsoft, just Azure consumption. But when Microsoft shares deals with us, they still go to Partner Sales Connect rather than going through to Partner Center.
Yeah, so I think so. Okay, so there is some bifurcation that can happen as we're sort of in this middle phase where things are moving from Partner Sales Connect to Partner Center, and it sounds like that's what's happening with you guys. And I think you said, Michael, that you want to just do things in Partner Center, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so what I would do. I normally don't do this, but I will connect with you offline and see if we can make that happen sooner rather than later for you.
That'd be fantastic.
And yeah, Kate, there's a little bit of a capacity. We have a bit of a capacity issue. I'm sorry. Someone else is trying to talk.
Sorry, Kate. It's Melanie from Australia as well. So the problem that Michael mentioned is we obviously have the same or similar problem with two other partners as well. So it seems to be a common trend, and it was something that I wanted to raise with the team.
Okay. So
yeah, Kate, just a quick thought. This is Megan. I would just verify that when Microsoft sales teams are creating opportunities to share with the partners, that they're selecting a solution. Yeah. If they don't select a solution, it will go to Partner Sales Connect as part of this bifurcated process that Kate was referencing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Michael, we will, we hear you that you would like to have a unified experience, which is totally fair. So we'll take that offline and see if
Yep.
we can come up with a shorter runway to make that happen.
Yeah, that's great. Because I'm like the Microsoft team on the ground here, they honestly are just learning as much as I am.
Sure.
They're sharing things with me and going, oh, it should be in Partner Center. And I'm like, well, it's not. So we all want that unified experience. So yeah, if you can connect with me offline and we can work through that. And Melanie, maybe we can all, I don't know, work together on a group or whatnot and sort that out. That'd be great.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. And then, sorry, there's some chat window questions, so I want to make sure I'm addressing them. If a partner wins without Microsoft help, does the deal registration for IP co-sell look like in Partner Center? So you would do the same thing. That's the deal registration. It is a requirement of the program that you register the deal. So you would do the same process. And then Melanie is asking, don't know if you already covered this, what process does a partner need to follow to start co-selling in Partner Center? This is the first time for a partner. So this is we could start this question in a couple of places. So so to start co-selling in Partner Center, one, they would need to have eligibility to go into the new Partner Center experience to co-sell. So that is something that they can work with their PDM on to understand when that eligibility is going to become available to them. And why there is a component of eligibility is not because we as a corporation don't want that. It's that we're trying to make sure that you guys have a great experience moving into this new environment for co-selling. And due to sort of the things that are happening in the world today, we do have some support capacity. And so we want to make sure that our support team can help you in this process. So it is coming, we are rolling it through, but that's the first step for the partners. They have to be eligible.
Kate, just before you go on, so this particular partner is marked, the partner is not eligible at the moment, and they want to co-sell in Partner Center. So is there an exception process or anything we need to follow?
There is not, unfortunately,
Okay.
Melanie. Okay. So partners will receive notification of invitation is how we notify them. Any other questions from the partners?
Hey, Kate. Sorry, Michael again.
Hit me, Michael. Hit me.
I got a good one for you. I spent 3 hours yesterday on Partner Center connecting co-sell to Salesforce. It's a lot harder than we first initially thought. Is there any chance that someone in your team could sit on the phone and give us support on the way through that? We're using the documentation that's been sent through.
Yeah.
It's just not super straightforward.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a caveat there, Michael. So the Salesforce connector, it's in beta stage, so it's actually not available to everyone sort of in a public way that you might expect it to be downloaded from app stores. So that's probably the issue that you're running into. So that's probably why. The best course of action for you is to file a support ticket specifically around that connector within Partner Center. And then they can understand if how to triage through the beta stage that it's currently in.
Sure thing. Okay. So there's no specific team that could just make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the team. Not unfortunately. Fortunately, cool. That is the team. That's the way to phrase it. That can help you. Sorry. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a VIP person I can send you to. Yeah.
That's all right. Thank you.
No worries. Any other partner questions? You guys have 3 minutes.
Nothing from me.
Okay, are you sure, Michael?
I think so. But if we can connect offline, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, well, I have your information, so I'll see what we can do. Do you know who your PDM is off the top of your head? Sorry.
Yeah, I've got 2 because I cover Australia and New Zealand. So I've got Sarah Niblock and Kavya Kanchana.
Okay, perfect. I'll make sure they're looped in.
Thanks.
Yeah, and we can make sure that they've seen the internal training materials as well, so that should help us for any questions that they have.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Well,
All right.
thank you very much, I
Anything
guess.
else?
All
Anything
right.
else?
Right.
Going
Thank
once,
you all.
going twice. All right. I suppose we are concluding this Ask Me Anything session. Again, thank you all. I'll drop the link into the chat, so it's at the very bottom for you, of where you can find the PowerPoint and the recording that should be uploaded in the next day or so. And with that, thank you so much, Kate, for your great presentation. We will see you all again very soon for another learning opportunity. And with that, have a great day. Stay healthy, stay well.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey,
Thanks so much.
sorry guys, last question.
No,
I didn't